Hello there gang, Devere here with another Past Blast. Doing a little bit of Alien Breed and Alien Breed Tower Assault. And we'll just dive in and start the game, because otherwise it goes into an auto credit sequence that takes ages to get through. I'll give a bit of gen once we get started. Shuttle Bay 2, Deck 1. Upon leaving your craft, perform a reconnaissance of the immediate area. Locate the deck lift that leads to the power system, south power subsystem, and proceed, blah blah blah. Jolly good. It's enough of all that. So yeah, so for this is going to be a 2-in-1 video, this one. Because this of course is only available on GOG.com, I've not seen it on Steam. And of course it comes as a twin pack with the original Alien Breed, which was published in 1991, and Alien Breed Tower Assault, which was published in 1994. Both by Team 17, who of course back then were an absolutely cracking development house. Lots of good games to their names, including such like as Worms, but the Alien Breed series of course pretty awesome. So I thought I'd do it just a quick bit of this one, because there's not a lot of depth in all honesty to Alien Breed 1, and you'll see why shortly. And then Tower Assault. There was unfortunately the Alien Breed 2 is not part of the pack. Why that's not been re-released, I'm not quite sure. So that's your classic top-down shooter. Very much in a sort of style of Gauntlet, in the way of run around, find keys to unlock doors. Although luckily you can also shoot through doors, which you'll probably need to do, as it's one of the frustrations. It's quite easy to accidentally unlock doors, especially when trying to move away from the aliens. And you actually unlock the door and waste your keys. You can buy key packs, as well as other weapons, upgrades, health packs and so forth. The Intex system, which we might see very shortly. So graphically it's quite showing its age, as are the controls. I'm controlling it with the arrow keys. The fire button is on the right shift, sorry, I was about to say left shift. But to interact and even get the game started, you need to use the backspace key. And you'll see part of the issue here really is the AI. It's not particularly threatening, certainly not by today's standards. And a lot of the time, if I might be able to just make him despawn. Oh, no, he didn't that time. Sometimes they despawn just by getting them off the screen, sometimes they don't. It's very bizarre. You see, they're not overly threatening. Although don't let them get too close, because they can do quite a bit of damage, and try to dodge round them. This is very much square hitbox style going on here. So very easy to get hit by just trying to dodge them. Also try to sometimes get lined up, and shots can be a pain. And you see, it's not particularly threatening. It's also a very linear game. The most challenging part is some of the later levels when you have to destroy the power generators and then escape the level before everything goes boom. It could be played 2-player. Whether that still can, I don't know. I'm obviously playing single player. So just sort of goes without saying there, that doesn't it? So I shouldn't have said it. So yeah, it's not that it's a terrible game. I used to play it a hell of a lot out on the old Amiga 500. I mean, moments like that's probably the most challenging, when you accidentally get one drawn in behind you. It's also a very linear game. Well, no, in fairness, the levels are quite big and complex. Let's see, which way are you chaps going? Well, they seem like they're actually hunting me this time. Sometimes they do hiccups, sorry. Sometimes they do give the impression they're going for you. And other times they just kind of just ignore you. So Yeah, it is the AI that's the biggest problem. Well, that and the somewhat wacky controls here. They're the biggest enemies for this game by today's standards. But the good news is it does come as a double pack with the far superior Tower Assault, which we'll look at very shortly. I'll just play a little bit more of this. Oops, might be in danger for a split second there. That was more by luck than planning. So yeah, it's just very sedate paced. Oops. See, that one actually seemed to chase me down. Whether that was just luck, you're never really sure. So yes, you'll notice all the credits. We've got to collect that and to buy supplies and weapons throughout the game off the Intex system, which we hopefully pick up very shortly. Again, you have to use it backspace to interact with it. All very bizarre controls here. This is a DOS emulated game, so you could use the key remapper if you want to make something a bit more modern. It makes a bit more sense. But yeah, it's just a very basic top-down shooter. And oh, look. See, that one actually does appear to be actually going for me, so that's something. So we've got to find our way out of the to that deck lift we saw a minute ago. It's more a wacky movement on that's trying to hit him sometimes. It's a problem. Oh no, they actually done me. You do have lives, as you'll notice down at the bottom in the HUD's indicator. So it's just these sort of things. Yeah, all right. It's really basic. I mean, it's just basically bouncing off walls, pong style, rather than actually sort of trying to track you down. I didn't waste some bullets on that one because I don't need to. The graphics are obviously also quite blocky. It was a lot better looking. So what we'll probably do is very shortly we'll in fact probably now-ish you've kind of seen the whole the game is very similar. We'll probably look at these far superior, so you can destroy doors, Tower Assault. So we should do that now, gang. This was Alien Breed, definitely showing its age, unfortunately. This definitely is one of those games where you want the nostalgia packs, and there are different enemy types as you go through later levels, in fairness. So see there, that one looked like it had me and then it suddenly turned away. So I'm still here. So yeah, we'll now jump over to Alien Breed Tower Assault.
Game over.
Oh, good point. I'll just quickly quick point there. Yeah, escape doesn't exit the game. It actually ends the entire level regardless of where you are. So don't press escape if you're in the middle of playing. So, you know, obviously today's standards, escape would take you to a pause menu or something normally. It will instantly end your level. Oh, and the final thought. Unfortunately, there's no actual save system. This is the ye old school of you get a code at the completion of a level and then you type that code in to carry on from that level later on. So you want to either have a pen and paper ready or a bit of software that can at least screenshot bound to some key. Yes, something that was never particularly popular back in the day. So right, Alien Breed Tower Assault coming up. So here we go, Alien Breed Tower Assault. Straight off the bat, everything's looking a little bit more slick, a little bit more polished. This is of course the second part of the pack. We also get a FMV, full motion video introduction with this one, which came with a CD32 version and the PC CD-ROM version. And you know, FMV was kind of the big thing then, and it's as cheesy as you remember or you'd imagine if you've not seen them. Also get a little keybind control at this point in time. Makes things a little bit easier. Controls definitely a little more slicker. Spacebar for fire, so you can still have 2-player. And one of the other things you'll notice that's made a very unwelcome return: enter mission code. So yes, it's still mission code based. Why that's an even bigger problem we'll see once we dive into the game. So let's just start the assault. So I'm still using the arrows keys to control and the spacebar for shooting. So the story is this colony's been attacked by aliens, sent out a distress signal. We responded but got shot down by automated defence systems. So we'll just dive on in, form a reconnaissance, blah blah blah. So you don't need to worry too much about the these little squeaky things, and not worth too much worrying about. Neither are the asteroids, it's the mines that are around. I didn't mean to pick that up. So there's more story involved this time as well. Officer Nash didn't make it. Looks like you're out there on your own. Unfortunately, none of the equipment survived the impact either. The stores facility would be a good place to start. Blah blah blah. If only you had a map. It's kind of odd because we do have a map, but I think they're all about to scan a map. So at the moment, it's just hardest bit here is just trying to dodge all these landmines that are buried all over the place, like that, and the gun turrets, the automated defence turret systems. So I need to. It's worth looking around for things. So where this game was, you see, because it's still very much square-based manoeuvre, it's quite easy to think you're about to miss a mine and be completely wrong. There's that. There's the little invincibility shield thing on. Oh, because I'm trying to look for. That's what I'm looking for. I want to start by making us an entrance into the compound. It's not obviously clear, but you need to detonate the mines that are beside the doorways. Oh, I've got invincibility. I don't need to worry too much about setting off the mines. So let's come down here, just grab some supplies. So you can see right off the bat, the graphics are a massive improvement. This was built on the same engine as Alien Breed 2, which for some reason isn't on the pack, which is a great shame. Look for that gap, it's sometimes not always easy to tell. So where this was quite a big difference, let's grab some of these healths, is there's not one way to go. It's not at all a linear game. You can go multiple different areas, try it different ways around each time. It's entirely up to you. Area scan. It seems the complex is built up 6 minor towers. Blah 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 blah. Access to the nearest tower is due north and paths through the minefields. Lie due east and west. There seems to be little activity except for security lasers. So we're there. I think we need to go down this way. I think is where I want to go. So yeah, the lasers can fire at you off screen.
Area scan.
Yeah, okay, I don't really need that now. Let's get that ammunition because you will need it. So where was the main entrance to the complex? Yeah, so there's quite a few different ways to go in this game. Oh, that is frustrating trying to dodge those lasers. Is this? Can have a key. Good, good. Might be this way. Yeah, the layout's obviously quite.
Smart card message follows.
Civilian facility, civilian complex lays directly north, and this seems to be a good place to start research to colony. That's the way I want to go. So this is where one part of the problem of waiting on mission codes can be quite problematic. There can be a lot of area to cover in some of these games. You're never quite sure when you're getting a mission code. And they're even bigger than they were in the original Alien Breed. Civilian Zone 1. As you enter the first floor, civilian complex, you're sensitive that something terrible has happened here. Surely somebody must have survived the attack. Find out what you can.
Smart card message following.
The scenes of mutilation and death are almost, yeah, whatever. It tries, there's a lot more story, basically, a lot more lore in this one. So there, of course, is our aliens. So this is where things come a little bit more tricky. Trying to get them out of rooms without taking damage can be quite... So there is a new system. If you're firing and start backing away, it puts you into a slow retreat mode, which you can toggle with the right shift key as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't always kick in on time. So yeah, it can be a little bit awkward trying to winkle them out of places. Because this game is hard. No two ways about it. The difficulty level here is definitely upped by quite an amount. You can chew for ammunition pretty rapidly. These normal doors don't need keys. These need special pass keys, and then the big armoured doors need the keys you collect or buy from the intel stations. And again, the maps are, here we are, this is the in-text. We didn't actually get to see it in Alien Breed, but we do here. So you have to press your right shift to interact. So you can buy weapons, supplies, although again, some of these things are laying around in places. You also see there's upgrades to the power of the weapon as well. Spacebar. Yeah, it's a bit of a cumbersome interface. Tri-laser. Heat-sensor missiles. Yeah, so it's an interesting selection. Luckily they all take just the one type of ammunition. You don't need specialised ammunition. Body armour could be useful. So let's go to main. Tool supplies. So we buy some spare ammunition, key packs, and the scanner. 12,900. So might as well buy a bit of ammunition just to keep going, because you can chew through it pretty quick, and you will want one of the more powerful weapons for the end game. Well, there's just general other stuff here. So let's exit all of that.
Network logging off.
Because yeah, these areas are pretty big in places. In fact, all places.
Smart card message following.
Let's see, exit corridor. This is one of the connected corridors that exit the towers. They link to the east and west over colony grounds. You can exit to Sector 2 east or Sector 5 west. Passage through them requires a green pass. So there, it's not kicking in time. You need to hold your fire down for a split second before that backwards retreat will kick in. So, oh yeah, I need the green pass now for that one. It just told me. So the game, yeah, the game can be quite punishing, especially sometimes going through doors. Because it is very square based. It's easy to get yourself caught on a corner just when you don't need to be caught on a corner. I mean, you never want to be caught on a corner. Of course, you can always just toggle on the retreat mode when you need, before you go entering doors, but it's not the most fluidly natural. Let's try it, because I have to walk backwards and yeah, it's very slightly cumbersome. But yeah, so the graphics have vastly improved. The whole gameplay itself is improved because of the fact you can choose which way round you go. There's no linear guided path. It's then now stuck on a corner. Sticky corners, very, very irritating. Which way do we need to go now? Back over this way. We want to go up there. Right. So this was definitely probably the best of the series, in all honesty. Although with the they didn't hold it quite long enough. That will get you killed quite a few times. Oops, I didn't need to. Going around the outside areas, as you saw earlier at the start of the game, is quite frustrating. There's a lot of outside areas as well. It gives you a pretty good lot of game. It's quite varied. As you can see, the areas are massive. And that's the problem with the passcode system. Because you don't know when you're next getting another passcode, and which can mean if you do die, you can end up having to backtrack and recover all that area. Oh,
Warning. Energy low.
it didn't look like it was going to open the door. Oh. There we go. So of course that's one of the things that made this game quite good at the time. It was obviously clearly based on Aliens and movie. Yeah. Although completely unofficially. That was my own fault. I should have known there'd be an alien at the top there. But you'll see, yeah, the aliens now do actually go for you. They're a lot more aggressive. Which is one of the things that leads to the considerable difficulty spike in this game. Again, there's a life system and you will need it. Have I got the... I don't know if I've got the pass there for that. So anyway, we'll get around to concluding our dealings shortly anyway. Oh, I was trying to kick in that.
Smart card message
Yeah, don't really need that right now. More interested in trying to stay alive. So we need a red card for that elevator. Righto. So yeah, it's for the age of the game, allowing you to pretty much kind of go your own way. It does mean, you know, you can play through one game and then play through the next, try a different route the next time round. But it is just quite punishing, especially the fact it's keyboard controlled. Maybe I should have tried it maybe with an Xbox controller. Let's try and clear this corridor first, because I was about to say there's about to be loads of aliens in there. That was me there, I didn't mean to.
area scan.
Area scan. Jolly good. As you'll see with some of the later areas, especially when you've got the alien spawn pits. This game can get very punishing. It's very easy to get caught between a couple of them. Try to use that retreat mode and everything. And so right shift is not the most natural when you try to control with your arrow keys. So the control issues aside and the random massive difficulty spikes, this is it's definitely much better. It's definitely superior to Alien Breed, of course, just because of the graphics, the amount of game you get. In fact, it's no longer quite as linear. That all helps. So I'll go this way this time. I went the other way the last time. The only thing is, of course, you can't really go back into an area, so I couldn't go back round now and where I've just come from. It's a bit of a shame. Could have been totally open world. It would have been really nice. Outer Colony Sector 5, you're presently north-northwest of the crash site. From here there is access to the tower to the west or the Sector 4 of the colony grounds. The sinister main tower stands to the northeast. So yeah, we'll get around to concluding our dealings here, gang, but yeah, all in all,
Area scan.
area scan. There's a lot more story in the way of logs and such like. There's a lot more variety in the alien types. In fact, you can see if I'd have come a different way, I would have, from that original starting area, I could have come up through here first. So there's a lot of different ways to play the game. Back to dodging mines. I don't mind shooting anything, so they don't harm you. They're just there to bug you out. Tee hee hee. I walked straight into that one. That'll teach me to fool around. Oh, more gun turrets. They're just so irritating. They're tracking. No, mines are even more irritating. So let's over this way. Let's go in here. Not quite sure why these load times are quite as long as this. It's a DOS emulated game, so you might want to keep that in mind and use the remapper for your controls. It make them a little bit more slick. Colony Ground Sector 4. A northern exit leads into the science facility and a path easterly leads further around to the colony. Jolly good. Oh, that's fine at me already. So yeah, we'll conclude our dinners here, gang. But for the money, you get Alien Breed Tower Assault, the classics. It's a great shame Alien Breed 2 wasn't encountered on it. Is it The Nightmare Continues? I think it was Alien Breed 2, or The Horror Continues. If my memories might be a bit flaky in places. But yeah, I used to play these madly. Play these on my Amiga. This game is quite punishing. You get a lot of game for your money, but it is very punishing. And I say Alien Breed, nowadays it's more of a curio of the time than a must play, just because of the sort of how backwards it kind of feels, how basic it feels really compared to this game. See there, I thought I was clear of that because it was quite sort of square based. That one was fine. That's bizarre. That's a bit better. So yes, Team 17's finest hour perhaps. Certainly a fun one.
Smart card message follows.
Door malfunction. In a power surge, the science doors have jammed, and you'll have to destroy all 10 generators in the outdoor zone in order to force the doors open. So that's those kind of vibrator, these things here.
Smart card message
Oh, okay, a secret area lies somewhere on this level. Search hard. Well, that's worth knowing. So, I mean, you can soon start chewing through ammunition in this game. I have occasionally run out. Right, so we've got 10 of them to destroy. Well, we won't worry about that now. So, anyway, gang. Yes, Alien Breed Tower Assault. Twin pack, available on GOG.com. If you're after a classic top-down shooter with a kind of gauntlet that's also a homage to Aliens, or at least homage, definitely inspired by. How there was no copyright breaches, I've no idea. Then this is well worth the try. Just be aware that one game's a little bit too easy because of the AI, and one next game can be completely opposite end. Quite tough and punishing, this game. No two ways about it. So anyway, all, thanks for taking the time to watch the video. I hope you found it useful and entertaining in some way. And as ever, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to let me know you're alive. Oh, and one last thing, I should have mentioned this. The escape button still does the exact same thing. Nukes everything from orbit. Don't make that mistake, because it's so easy sometimes to think pause game, hit escape, and there you go. As you see, I haven't been given a code yet from anywhere. I'm glad I did that then. I've not been given a code anywhere. So I would now have to start all the way again from the beginning. Now that's the problem with the code system. Why this wasn't developed as a safe system, I don't know. So sorry, went off at the right tangent there. Just be aware of that. So anyway, all, bye for now.